Hello and welcome back to GarbagePanda, and I made a lightsaber. Okay, so I went to Disneyland, and I went to Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars Land, and I built a lightsaber from Savi's workshop. This is $220, all metal, so you don't want to throw this into your wall by accident, like I have with other plastic sabers. So the blade is really easy to get out. You just push down, twist, and pull out. So what you just saw there was the golden crystal, well, yellow crystal. So the kyber crystals, which changes the color of your blade. While you're building, you have the options of different crystals, except for yellow and white, which you later buy at Savi's workshop. So I chose the blue while building it. So to get your kyber crystal in and out, you want to do the top and bottom sleeves, and then you just pull out, pull off the ignition switch, and there's your crystal. You can pull out the back to make it easier to get the crystal out. So to get the crystal in, it's spring-loaded up here. So you get the top up in there. It's kind of hard to see since I don't have much light, but you get the top up in there, and then you push it in here, and there you go. Oh, it was going in for a second. It is one of the hardest parts of this all, but so in the very middle of this bottom piece, there's a small divot that you get into, and then you should be able to spin it, like I am now. And then this red piece right here connects with this red piece, so just like that, and then same for the blue, just like that, and then you just have to tighten the top sleeves. Okay, now you get the blade in the same way you did the others, and the same way you got it out, push in, twist, and there you go. Okay, so this is what blue looks like. Blue is a lot easier to see. Yellow kind of looks like green. Green is a lot more green, but yellow looks kind of like green. This shows up really nice on camera. Okay, so here it's actually all blue. On the camera, it looks more like it does in the movies, where it's white in the center and then blue on the outsides. So, there. Sound comes out the bottom. Alright, so before you build, you get a choice of different pins. And, well, not different pins, but you get a choice of different categories of the pieces that you build from. So I chose Peace and Justice, which is more like Luke, Anakin, Obi-Wan. You can get Elemental Nature, Power and Control. Power and Control is more Sith. I forgot the last one. That's more Old Republic and Jedi Temple Guards. That goes very good with yellow. But so I chose Peace and Justice. The pins determine which ones you build from. These are only some of the pieces that you're given the choice to build from in Peace and Justice. And when you get out of Savi's workshop, they give you a sheath. So there's a nice symbol on there at Doc Ondar's, which is the store that you get the kyber crystals from. You can get a much better one, a lot more padded. I didn't get it because it wasn't in stock. There's a pin. This is my Peace and Justice pin. It looks like Luke's green lightsaber from Return of the Jedi. So that is the sheath. You don't have to say sheath. You can get a belt clip at Doc Ondar's, or I got mine just at the Savi's Workshop check-in place in the very front. Let me move this. There we go. So I got a choice if I wanted it or not. I did want it. So this part right here. So there's a top part right here, which goes for some lightsabers that have the I forgot what it's called. It's like this circle piece that clips into here. That goes with the Rancor tooth from Elemental Nature and other pieces. But I like the D-ring, especially. So that's why I got this bottom part. So this is the part for the D-ring. It just goes right in, and then it'll hang there. Since this is made of metal, it's really heavy. If you don't have a belt, it will pull your pants down. But this little button right there, you press it, and then, okay, I keep moving it the wrong way. You press it, and it comes, trying to show it better, comes down a bit, and then that gives you the chance to slip this part out. So that is for the lightsaber. Something that's kind of hard is trying to get these gold pieces to align. A lot of pieces to align is really hard on most of the parts. So what some people do is use like tape to like plumber's tape and tapes to put on the screw parts, so then it'll get stuck right in the place where it needs to be. You see, the first time I built it, it was aligned perfectly, but now it's just a little bit this way. But yeah, this is my personal lightsaber. I got this activation switch. It was my favorite of the two. Oh yes, totally forgot. That sound I just heard, that's the failed ignition when you don't have a blade in. It's a failed ignition. So that's a little neat thing. While I was there, I also bought something that I saw online, and I have wanted a version of it for a long time. It's a Boba Fett jetpack. They had like these small, like inflatable ones, for years at like Target and places. I didn't like those. They didn't look good. So, but it is very small. It was meant for smaller children. But yeah, this is Boba Fett's jetpack, trying to get in the frame. So, Boba Fett's jetpack. Here are the straps, and then there's this longer one that there's a small thing right here that's unlocked and locked. That locks the rocket in place, because this rocket actually shoots. It's like rubber and foam on the top, but this strap right here, when pulled hard enough, sometimes it works very easily and sometimes it doesn't. It always works eventually, though. Just had to get a good grip on it. There we go. It shoots. It's easier to do it when you're actually wearing it. There's a try me button that I haven't gotten the sticker off of yet. So that makes the rockets go. Yeah, that's really everything that I got at Galaxy's Edge, except for, yeah, Galaxy's Edge. But then in Avengers Land, there's this new web slinger for Spider-Man. It is amazing. Well, actually not really. It broke down for my cousin like 5 times, for me once, and then they replace it for free. Usually it's a battery problem, since some of them have been in storage for a year, but they don't know which ones. And then, yeah, so I wouldn't say it's too great. I wouldn't really recommend it. But what I would recommend is getting up at around 7 a.m. for each day that you go to one of the parks. So then you can go on the Disney app and go to boarding groups, and at either 7 a.m. or noon, you have to go on boarding groups, press boarding group, select the number of people in your party, and then try and get a boarding group for a ride. There's Rise of the Resistance, which is amazing, at Galaxy's Edge, and then there's Spider-Man Web Slingers, which is currently the one of the only rides at Avengers Land. So I would definitely recommend that. They go away in seconds. Like your boarding groups, they go away in seconds. So for Galaxy's Edge, we failed the one at 7 a.m. because it was out, because you have to be really lucky to get it. So on day 1, where I went to Avengers Campus, we got the boarding group for Spider-Man Web Slingers on first try, and then we had to get the next day we had to go at noon to try and get it again because we failed the first time. So the boarding groups, if you don't understand what I'm saying, it's this virtual queue that Disney is trying out. So the virtual queue, you get a boarding group, which is, like I said, really hard to get, and then you have to, they'll call your boarding group, and then you have to get in this really long queue. It's a queue, but then you can just go around and like do whatever you want until your boarding group is called. But it's a really long queue, so you have to do that, and then you get into the ride. Otherwise, you can't get in without a boarding group, because a boarding group will give you a QR code that later they'll scan. So, I don't really like the system, but the rides, well, especially Rise of the Resistance, which is at Star Wars Land, is definitely worth it. But I will say, some rides do kind of break down, but they were really nice about it. Like, Rise of the Resistance broke down while we were in the queue, and we stayed there for another hour, just staying in place. And then later, like when we got later up in the queue, they were like, just come back and scan your tickets again, and we'll let you in through the Fast Pass lane. So currently, Fast Pass is closed, except for when you're doing the parent swap, or in that case where we got to go through the Fast Pass lane for since we had to wait. So something that you need to do if you're going to Star Wars Land, you're a big Star Wars fan, you need to try to get a reservation at Oga's Cantina. It's a cantina. It has a DJ droid that was voiced by Pee Wee Herman. I forgot the actor's real name, but he played Pee Wee Herman. So yeah, you need to get a reservation for that, because those reservations go away so quickly, and it is an amazing experience. I didn't get to get a reservation, so that's why I am telling you that you need to do it. So that is it for this video. Thank you, and also thank you for everyone who subscribed while I was away. I didn't just take a break, but I actually couldn't make any videos because I wasn't home. I didn't have my Xbox, I had my computer, but yeah. So thank you, and see you in the next